What's up everyone, KitaSean here. So, as you guys probably already know, I did a top 10 servants of 2018 for the JP version of FGO. And in the comments section, as I was scrolling down to see your guys' top 10 and stuff like that, I saw a comment by Maria Goy, who asked, Merry Christmas, KitaSean, can you do a top 10 must-save servants for NA in 2019 from a JP veteran perspective, smiley face. So, I thought, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of NA players are excited for all the new servants coming out next year in that version. And I know it says must save, so I'm assuming, you know, for gacha rolls. But I thought, you know what, let's change that a little bit. Let's go overall servants in 2019 that NA players should look forward to. So this is, of course, adding in some free servants that you can get during some events. So this list that I made, it was really hard to make because I actually really liked a lot of the servants from this year, from that year when they came out in JP. So basically last year, I thought they were all great, and it was honestly really hard to make because of the knowledge that I have from this year for JP to know that a lot of these servants are going to get upgrades and become really strong. So I literally had to get that out of my mind and just focus on what I think is best in this entire year, like forgetting about all the knowledge that we have for, you know, for the future of NA. But yeah, this was really hard to make, honestly, and I hope you guys like it, but you guys are free to disagree on the list. And I do have some bonus servants that I think might be pretty cool to look forward to as well. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and reveal my top 10 servants that the NA players should look forward to. So my number 10 servant is going to be Kiara, alter ego. Kiara comes out during the Fate Extra CCC event, and she's actually not the only alter ego that comes out during this event. Melted Lilith and Passion Lip come out in Gacha 1, and then Kiara comes out in Gacha Part 2. So F2P players will probably struggle on which one to roll. I personally think that Kiara is the better one, even though I do believe both of them are really good in their own way. But both of these servants don't get a buff until next year. That's where the knowledge comes in. I mean, I didn't want to talk about this, but might as well talk about it now. But later on, they do get buffs, and I think Kiara is still the servant that is better when these buffs comes in, because she doesn't need a servant to support her. Because I think Melt is better when you have Scotty, and of course Scotty is really great when it comes to quick support. So Melt is a quick servant. So I still put Kiara above Melt because Melt needs another servant to help her out. Kiara, you not really, you don't need it. So that's why I put Kiara above Melt. Even to this day, I still put Kiara above Melt because I also don't like Melt's demerits. I hate them so much. So yeah. I do believe alter egos are the worst class in this game, but if used right and fighting against the right enemies, they will be a huge help. Kiara has some pretty good debuff skills. I like them a lot. She also has MP charge 50%, which is amazing. And once she gets her buff, she gets decreased arts card resistance against the enemies. So I think that is amazing, and that tells you that she is an art servant. So you can spam her MP. It's easy. It's pretty easy. But her second skill, AoE skill, decreases MP charge and the enemy defense. Her third skill applies invincible, increase crit strength, MP gain, debuff resist, and recover HP amount, all at 50%. And it does have a demerit. Makes her lose 3k HP, which you don't have to worry about because you can heal that with her Noble Phantasm. At MP 1, it's only 2000 HP, but once you increase the MP level, you will fully heal that demerit. But she also has a great passive skills which allows her to fight against rulers, so I think Kiara deserves to be on this list as an alter ego. But you don't have to roll for them at all because you do get a free alter ego during Halloween, but I personally don't really like that free alter ego, which is Mecha Ellie, but I still think she's still great to have because she's an alter ego. So if you can't get any of these alter egos during the Fate CCC Extra event or Fate Extra CCC event, then I think you should just get that free alter ego during Halloween. So number 9 is going to be Paul Bunyan Berserker. A lot of you guys think I'm joking about this, but no, I'm actually pretty serious. A 1-star Berserker, Paul Bunyan deserves to be on this list. Honestly, I might have put her a little bit higher, but because she's a 1-star, you have to, do all this stuff in order to make her better. I think that's why I put her at number 9, and I thought that was fair. But all her skills work well with her MP. They all work together. I do believe you need to grail her a little bit in order to do a lot of damage and survivability as well, because you want to give her more HP. She's free to get. You can MP5 her easily by clearing these quests. So yeah, Paul Bunyan, I do believe she is a servant that you want to grail in order to bring out her full potential. And I just think she's a fun servant to play with. So Paul Bunyan at number 9. My number 8 servant is going to be Raikou Swimsuit Lancer. She's really good because she works in the Buster meta, Merlin. And you can increase crit star gather rate and crit strength, increase Buster card and remove all debuffs, increase attack of all allies, and crit star drop rate for 3 turns. Her MP is single target. Buster can gain crit. You probably will see a decline of players using her, but I do think she is still a really good Lancer even today in the JP version. And you just have to pair her up with the perfect servants, perfect Buster team, and I think you're good to go with her. So number 7 is going to be BB Moon Cancer. Now, I know some of you guys might argue saying that you can put her higher on this list, which maybe, yeah, I can, but I do think that the other servants on this list are more reliable. She is a Moon Cancer, so she does have her limitations, but she's free and a must pick up because Moon Cancers, we don't have that many in the game. We have 2 right now in the JP version. The second one is in the gacha. She's limited, so you're not guaranteed to get her. This BB, you are guaranteed to get her as long as you farm the event and clear the event. So BB Moon Cancer, definitely pick her up because we don't know when the next Fate Extra CCC event is coming. And Moon Cancers are basically anti-Avenger class, so it's going to be great for you guys that are struggling against Avenger bosses. She can also remove debuff on your entire team, apply null debuff, heal, can remove invincible, and has a chance to inflict stun at level 10 100%. She has increased crit star gather rate and strength. Her MP is a single target, so perfect to kill Avenger bosses like J Alter. So yeah, BB Moon Cancer, try and pick her up. If you can't get her at MP5, try to get her at least MP2 because it's going to help you a lot. So my number 6 servant is going to be Miyamoto Musashi Saber. Now, Musashi will be the first new servant that you guys see in 2019 in the NA version, and it will be very tempting to roll for her because she looks amazing and she is an amazing damage dealer. But I honestly think that it's okay to skip on her on New Year's because she does come back for Epic Remnant Chapter 3, which you can also roll for some other cool servants like fan favorite Tomoe Gozen and TM Revolution. I mean, Assassin Paraiso, I call her TM Revolution because she looks like TM Revolution in Hot Limit. Like, her outfit looks like the Hot Limit outfit. That's why I call her TM Revolution. Look it up, by the way. But I know that many game websites, game review websites, have her very low on the tier list at media, but I think it's okay to ignore that. She does have very bad MP game because of the Buster cards in her deck. She has 3 of them, but it's also a good thing to have those Buster cards because they work very well with her skills. Her first skill, very unique. It allows her to double the hits of each of her attack, and the power will drastically decrease, so that's why it's important to level up that skill. Now, she also has a skill that increases her Buster card, crit star drop rate, ignore invincible, so really good against those bosses that have invincible. And again, they all work very well together. All her skills work very well together with her card set. Of course, she works best when she has all her Buster cards, so sometimes it is kind of hard to get the timing right, but when she has all her Buster cards up, she is really strong. I would have put her a little bit higher on this list because of the knowledge that we have for next year. There are a lot of servants in the future that I think will surpass her, so I thought number 6 was fair, but she will be an amazing servant for you guys in the NA version because of the Buster meta, aka Merlin. So number 6 is going to be Miyamoto Musashi. So my number 5 servant is going to be King Hassan, or in Japanese, Yamano Okina Assassin. King Hassan is obviously a really amazing assassin because of the Merlin meta. The reason is, of course, the 3 Buster cards and his MP being Buster. His Guts allows him to regain 5000 HP at level 10, which allows him to stay alive and finish the job. Has an amazing second skill, which gives him a lot of buffs, and it even heals him. His third skill has 100% decrease resist for 3 turns on the enemy and also increases his Buster card. And of course, his third skill works very well with his MP because it's Buster, and it also has a high chance to inflict death. So King Hassan, definitely a must best in my opinion when it comes to the Merlin meta. So my number 4 servant is going to be Sherlock Holmes Ruler. Now some of you guys might say that I could put him a little bit higher on this list. Some of you guys might say that I could put him a little bit lower on this list. Now I can agree both ways, but I thought number 4 was fair. He is a great art support that can gain a lot of crit stars. It's a bit difficult to focus on your other servant's MP when you have him on your team, because you want to focus on getting his MP up because it's so good. It's like the reason why you put him in your team. Now his MP has decreased defense to all enemies for 3 turns. All allies gain ignore invincible and ignore defense for 3 turns, and of course increased crit strength. And of course you can spam it like crazy because he's an art servant. So boom, 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 boom. He's basically very useful when it comes to challenge quests. Like if you have him on your team, then you should be able to beat the challenge quest. But you will see a lot of people, a lot of players not using him a lot. So there's going to be a decline of using Sherlock Holmes in these challenge quests because other servants come out and they make a better challenge quest team, and a lot of people want to rush through them. So Sherlock Holmes doesn't rush it, but he does give you a steady, consistent team for these challenge quests. So that's why Sherlock Holmes does get a decline later on as new servants come in. But I still think Sherlock Holmes is a safe bet when it comes to challenge quests. And yeah, I think Sherlock Holmes is definitely one of the best servants that the NA players should look out for in 2019. So my number 3 servant is going to be Ereshkigal Lancer, probably my favorite servant as of right now when it comes to the Lancer class. I use her all the time, probably my most used servant as of right now. But she can gain her MP and her Buster card by 50% with the same skill. Her third skill is very unique. It works really well with her MP, or more like it has to work with her MP in order to take fully advantage of it. Her third skill buffs the entire party with increase of defense, MP gain, increase maximum HP by 3k for 3 turns. And the reason why it works really well with her MP, because you get an additional attack buff with it. So use her third skill, then her MP, and then get that attack buff. Now her first skill is a bit of a problem because 3 out of the 4 effects on that skill are a chance. Even though at level 10 80% it's a high chance, it's still a chance. Now the other effect on that skill is invincibility, so you can protect her. Ereshkigal might have the lowest attack stat out of the 5-star Lancers, but you can always back it up with her own skills and of course support to, you know, do some pretty good damage. I like her random animations in her MP because you get to see King Hassan and I think it was Nidocris, I believe, in the background sometimes, so that's actually really cool. So yeah, I think Ereshkigal is definitely a must to roll for during Christmas, and definitely one of the best and fun servants in the game in my opinion. So my number 2 servant is going to be Yogyu Tajima no Kami Munenori Saber. I was shocked to find out how strong he was. It really amazed me. I rolled for him a little bit, not knowing anything about him, but when I found out about him by using a friend, Yogyu, I was like, oh my god, this guy is just so godlike. I really want him. So the next time he got a raid up, which was literally a year later, because he's story locked, so I rolled into him. I was super happy, worth the money. He's so much fun, like definitely one of my favorite servants to play with. He gives art servants hope in a way, but art servants are, in my opinion, already good. But his first skill alone can increase arts card, crit star, gather rate with arts card, increase debuff resist. Second skill has apply evade, increase attack, and his third skill can decrease enemy attack and increase his own MP gain. All his skills work very well with his MP, which is an arts single target MP, and you can spam his MP because it's an arts servant. It really sucks that his skills only last for 1 turn, but you can always, you know, back that up with other supporting cast members like Tamamo and Gilgamesh Caster. So it really sucks that you can't spam his MP without all his own buffs. But Yogyu, so much fun, definitely a must roll in my opinion. Like a lot of people don't want to roll for him because, you know, he's some old geezer, but yeah, I mean, he's a veteran. I mean, you can, the older you get, the wiser you get. You know, I think he's so much fun. He really is. And if you guys don't want to roll for him, then you guys are gonna definitely miss out. Arguably one of the best single target servants in the game, probably arguably the best single target saber in the game. But I mean, that's my opinion. But I think Yogyu definitely is a top 3 servant when it comes to 4-star servants. So definitely check him out when he comes out, guys. Like you will not regret like rolling for him, trust me. So my number 1 servant that you guys should definitely look out for in 2019 in the NA version is Narrow Swimsuit Caster. Honestly, all the swimsuit servants are a must in my opinion, but Narrow Caster especially. My most used servant, definitely the year she came out. I think all her skills are just crazy amazing. It's ridiculous to see all her skills being so good. She gains 50% MP, increased attack and defense by 30%, and has negate own class affinity defense disadvantages for 3 turns, allowing her to fight against other servants, other classes. Her 3rd skill applies gut and increased attack on a single ally, so you can put that on anyone. You can put it on herself, you can put it on someone else that's going to use her MP. Her MP is AoE, so she has great potential when it comes to farming. It's not the greatest when it comes to damage, but put some buffs on her and it would do some pretty decent damage. I do believe her MP gain is really good, and she does have a lot of hits on her cards. All her sprites are amazing as well, and plus it's narrow. You can't go wrong with it. So yeah, Narrow Swimsuit Caster is definitely, in my opinion, the number 1 servant that you guys should definitely look out for. So that was my top 10 servants for NA in 2019. I know there are a couple servants that you guys think that deserve to be on this list, and yeah, I agree. But if I put them on this list, it would be unfair in my opinion, because I would be adding in future knowledge to the list. Even though I already did. I know I did put some future knowledge when it comes to some servants, but I just feel like the servants that I'm going to name right now, Parvati, Frankenstein Saber, Melta Lilith, and Heroine X Alter, these servants, when they first came out in the JP version, I was like, ugh, they're so bad. But then a year later, we're like, oh, they got a buff, pretty good buff. And then Scotty comes out, oh, they're really good now. So I didn't want to put them on this list because of Scotty, and Scotty definitely improves the quick meta. It really does. You can't disagree on that. And I just think these servants get really good because of Scotty, and of course their own buffs as well. So again, I thought it would be unfair to put them on this list because of that. So I don't think these are servants that you should roll for right away, even though you can prepare for the future if you want to. So I'm not stopping you from rolling for them. But Parvati, I think you can skip on because she is permanent, so you will eventually roll into her. And whenever a free 4-star pickup comes in, you can definitely pick her up then. Frank Saber, probably someone you might roll into if you're rolling the summer gacha, because everyone rolls the summer gacha. So Frank Saber, I think you should try and pick up because I think she's really good. I personally don't really use her as much because I don't like her demerits, but I still think she's really good. Definitely one of the best 4-star sabers in the game in my opinion when Scotty comes in. Melta Lilith and Heroine X Alter, I did not like them as much when they first came out, but I definitely like them now because of the buffs, and they're really good now. I mean, I think Heroine X Alter is definitely not a top 10, but I think she is in the conversation being a top 20 servant in my opinion when it comes to 5 stars. But Melta Lilith, I think she will be on par with Kiara. So yeah, I think these servants are great now in the JP version, but when they first come out in the NA version, they're going to be because of course Merlin, Buster meta is a thing. So if anything, if you guys just want to focus on the Buster meta, I understand you can skip on these servants, but if you want to prepare for the future, then pick them up. Or if you just want to roll for them, then just roll for them. Why not? I'm not stopping you. So I mean, just roll for whoever you want. That's how I see it. I roll for anyone because I just want them. But yeah, I just don't think they deserve to be on this list because of Scotty. But yeah, that's just how I see it. Another servant, Abigail. Of course, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would say that you would put Abigail on the top 10. I would too, but she comes out pretty late in the year, and New Year's we get another foreigner, Hokusai, and I think Hokusai is way better than Abigail and way much cooler than Abigail, way much cuter than Abigail, and she's my favorite servant. So I think you should just roll for Hokusai instead of Abigail. That's how I see it. But Abigail is single target, so they're really good in their own ways. But I just think Hokusai is the better servant, so I would roll for Hokusai instead of Abigail any day. But yeah, that's basically how I see it, and that's my top 10 list. I know you guys we'll disagree, or some of you guys might agree. You guys are free to do that. You know, doesn't matter which side you go with. But in my opinion, I think these are the top 10 servants for the NA version in 2019. So if you play the JP version, maybe comment down below and tell me your guys' top 10 that NA players should look out for in 2019. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters!